大家好，我是风狗马特森。继前阵子韦德在娘家 OJ 播客里爆料了很多三巨头往事，吐槽了詹姆斯的叛逃，以及哈斯勒姆、韦德、麦克米勒三人一起为波什发声鸣不平等等。大家没看过的可以翻我这个合集之前的内容。今天教父帕特莱利也终于来自家播客爆料往事了。莱利爆料，组建三巨头早在06年刚夺冠就已经开始计划，而且呢，到了10年，天时地利人和，恰好詹姆斯进入联盟7年却一事无成，波什也是在多伦多无法突破困境。而韦德则是最重要的一环，因为别的球队都需要裸签2个超巨，但迈阿密有韦德的鸟权，他们可以说是本来就手握一个超巨了，再拿下其他2个失意之人，可以说是手拿把攥。如果你也想像莱利一样想买谁就买谁，一年一度唯品会128年度特卖大会开始了，对比了下想买的东西价格都很美丽。我看到的像是阿迪达斯才200多，还有耐克、安踏超多大牌通通低至1到3折，顺丰面对面送货，上门退换无忧，新人还有30元新人券可以领。快戳评论区蓝链上唯品会看看吧。莱利表示，只是可惜的有2个点，一个是第1年就该夺冠的，哈队说到这个也是一声叹息。第二个就是莱利本来设想的是组建一个可以维持10年，拿下不止3冠甚至6冠的一支王朝球队，只可惜某人中间离开了。下面大家请看视频。
I'm happy you were able to. I'm happy you touched on the big three, because as we talk about sacrifice, I remember that specific summer, and so many teams were. And then I just had me and Dwayne just talked about this the other day. You know, so many teams were saving up and gearing up money to bring in 2 superstars,
right?
2 superstars, and it was public. Right. Everybody's, you know, New York has the opportunity to bring in 2 superstars. I think Atlanta had the opportunity to bring. It was so many teams that had the opportunity to bring in 2 superstars, and everybody was taking these trips around and visiting these organizations. And I didn't know this, but Dwayne told me this. It was never out in the public. It was never out in the open. But then it kind of got to Dwayne, and that Miami has the opportunity to sign 3 stars. The great Andy Ellisberg. We have to give him his flowers.
Absolutely. You know, well, in 2006, you know, the year that we won the title was the year that LeBron and Dwayne and Chris Bosh all signed their extensions. Mm-hmm. It's not a coincidence they were all represented by CAA.
Yes,
so they all signed.
True.
And then we took the contracts. We took a look at the contracts with options and all that stuff. And we saw that each one of them would be free agents in 2010. So I said, Andy, okay, we got this 3-4 years from now. I said, unless we trade for one of them, I think one day we might have an opportunity to sit at the table with LeBron, with Chris and Dwayne, or all 3 of them. And so from that day on, Andy went to work making sure that we would have the cap space in 2010 to sign all 3 of them. And a lot of people said, well, the Heat can't sign 3 of them. The people forgot that one of them was ours. That we had, you know, they had bird rights on Dwayne, you know, so we could sign him last. And so a lot of people didn't think that we were ever going to be able to get all 3 of them. And I was confident because, look at LeBron was banging his head against the wall for 7 years in Cleveland, getting to the finals, doing everything he could do. Yes. They just couldn't beat certain teams, you know, at the time. Chris was doing the same thing for 7 years, beating his head against the wall, Toronto, and playing great and trying to win.
Great.
You know, Dwayne had won one, and so this was an opportunity for these players in their prime, 25, 27, 27, to come together, and then to have you and get Mike, you know, that first year. I still think we should have won the first year. But anyhow, you know, I mean, you go back and you look at it, but Andy has been a person who not only knows talent, but he, you know, basketball operations, the operations, you know, manual and how you run your organization, cap, you know, what's going on today. You need somebody, a scientific mathematician to understand the cap today. But Mandy is great. You know, Andy's great, and he's really been so important to me. But that was just getting those 3 and to have that summer. I never forget. That's when the term came out. Nah. You know, a guy by the name of Stephen Covey wrote a book called First Things First. And so, you know, and out of that book, the very first line in that book was, the main thing is to make sure the main thing remains the main thing. And so when I pitched that to LeBron and Leon Rose and Maverick Carter and Randy Mims, we're all in a room together trying to recruit him. That was our pitch. And when I said that, Maverick looked at LeBron and whispered to him, like, I know that book. It's called First Things First. I think Maverick had already read the book himself, but it was a great day for us. Man, I mean, it's like, when we got Zoe, okay, and then we got PJ and Dan Marley and Tim Hardaway. We had that group with Keith Askins. That year. That's right. That was a hell of a team. And then when we got, we built that young team, and then we got Shaq and get the big three. We had a really good run. Man, absolute run.
How was it kept so quiet though? Because everybody was all over ESPN and nobody was speaking about Miami having an opportunity for three. Yeah. How did you?
We knew it.
You guys knew.
We knew it. Everybody, and Dwayne knew it. I said, Dwayne, you're the linchpin here. I said, don't you think about going back to Chicago? He said, I said, it's not about, we're going to give you, we had 48 million or whatever it was. Everybody was going to get 16.6. That's what the max was. Yes. Today they get 50. Man, crazy. But that was a lot back then, 16.6. Yeah. So we had enough room for three guys and Mike. And we had to trade Michael Beasley. I love Mike. Yes. I think Mike, with you group of guys, you see, you would have brought him along in a great way. He might have led the team in scoring.
Ain't no doubt.
Buckets.
What the hell? I ain't never seen nothing like it.
But we had five guys that we could start that team with, and then we started adding a bunch of minimums and stuff like that. But it wasn't until we got Shane and then Ray and Chris Anderson and
Bird.
The Birdman. Yeah.